The screens go dark for a second, and then the flag reappears. Obviously, they don't want the rest of the country to witness the disorder here in District 12. The square erupts as some people make for the side streets, and some rush to help Woodbine, even though he's long past helping. The peacekeepers keep firing, mostly as a warning, but hitting a few unfortunates at the end of the crowd. I don't know which way to go. Do I find Sid and Ma? Get Lenore Dove off the square? Just run for cover? Who did this? Who did this? demands Drusilla. A bewildered young peacekeeper gets pushed to the edge of the roof of the Justice Building. You imbecile, Drusilla berates him from below. You couldn't wait until he was in the alley? Look at this mess. It's a mess, all right. I catch sight of Ma and Sid at the edge of the crowd and take a step their way when a rough male voice booms over the system. On the ground, everybody, now. Automatically, I fall to my knees and assume the position. Hands linked behind my neck, forehead pressed to the sooty bricks of the square. Out of the corner of my eye, I almost see everybody around me follow suit, but Otho Mellark. Peter Mellark mentioned. Otho Mellark, a big lug of guy whose folks own the bakery, seems bewildered. His meaty hands dangle loosely at the sides of his feet, shuffle back and forth. Then I notice his blonde head spattered with someone's blood. Oh my goodness. Burdock punches him hard in the back of the knee, and it's enough to get him down on the ground and out of the line of fire. Oh, that's my Burdock! Drusilla's hot mic bounces her voice around the square as she screams at her team. We've got 5 minutes. A 5-minute delay, and then we'll have to finish this live. Get rid of the bloody ones. For the first time, I understand that when they show the reaping live, it isn't really live. There must be a 5-minute hold on the broadcast in case something like this happens. Peacekeepers' boots tramp through the audience as the soldiers grab anyone marked with gore, including Otho, then push them into the nearby shops to conceal them. We need another boy. The dead one's no good, says Drusilla, clunking down the steps into the square. There's a high-pitched keening, followed by peacekeepers barking orders. Then I hear Lenore Dove's voice, and my head shoots up like I don't control it. She's trying to help Woodbine's Ma, who's latched onto his hand as a pair of peacekeepers attempt to carry him away. Lenore Dove's tugging on one of the soldiers' arms, begging him to please let his Ma have him. Just let her see him for 1 minute, but they don't seem to have a minute. This will not end well. Should I get in there, pull Lenore Dove away, or will it only make the situation worse? I feel like my knees are glued to the ground. What's the problem there? I hear Drusilla say. Get that body off the square. A squad of 4 more peacekeepers heads over. Having Woodbine referred to as a body sets his Ma off. She begins to shriek, flinging her arms around his chest and trying to pull her son away from the soldiers. Lenore Dove joins her, grabbing hold of Woodbine's legs to help free him. Ma's going to lay into me for intervening, but I can't grovel on the ground while Lenore Dove's in danger. I push myself towards her, hoping to get her to help Woodbine loose. I spy one of the incoming peacekeepers raising his rifle to knock her out. Stop! I leap into shoulder just in time to intercept the rifle butt that slams against my temple. Pain explodes in my head as the jagged lights cut through my vision. I don't even make it to the ground before an iron hand locks on my upper arm and hauls me forward, my nose inches from the bricks. I'm dropped flat on the face before a pair of yellow boots. The tip of one lifts my chin before letting it bang back to the ground. Well, I think we've just found our replacement. Lenore Dove's behind me, pleading. Don't take him. It wasn't his fault. It was mine. Punish me. Oh, just shoot that girl, would you? Says Drusilla. A nearby peacekeeper trains his rifle on Lenore Dove, and Drusilla snorts in exasperation. Not here. We've got enough blood to clean up. Find a discreet location, can't you? As the soldier takes a step towards Lenore Dove, a guy in a violet jumpsuit appears, laying his hand on his elbow. Hold it. If I could, Drusilla, I'd love to keep her for a tearful goodbye. The audience eats that stuff up, as you always remind us. It's a challenge to find them. It's a challenge to get them to even notice 12. Fine, Plutarch mentioned. Whatever. Just get the rest of them. Up. On your feet, you district pigs. As they lift me, I notice Drusilla has a riding crop clipped to the side of one boob. I wonder if it's just decorative. Her dead fish breath hits me in the face. Play this right, or I'll shoot you myself. Hey, Mitch. I hear Lenore Dove cry. I start to respond, but Drusilla clamps onto my face with her long fingers. And she can watch. Plutarch gestures to one of the crew. Get a camera on the girl, would you, Cassio? He pursues Drusilla. You know we've got footage of the peacekeepers controlling the crowd. It could be an opportunity to hit the no peacekeeper, no peace angle. I don't have time, Plutarch. I barely have time to pull off the status quo. Get the first boy. What was his name? Wyatt Callow, says Plutarch. Get Wyatt Callow back to the pen. Drusilla smacks her forehead. No, she thinks a moment. Yes, I'll call them both. It will be smoother. It will cost you another 30 seconds. Then let's get going. She points at me. What's your name? My name sounds alien as it leaves my lips. Hamish Abernathy. Hamish Abernathy, she repeats. Hamish Abernathy, I correct her. She turns to Plutarch in vexation. It's too long. He scribbles off on his clipboard pad and rips off a strip of paper. She takes it and reads Wyatt Callow and Hamish Abernathy. Wyatt Callow and Hamish Abernathy. Why, you're the professional, Plutarch says. Better take your place. I'll position him. As Drusilla hurries up the steps, he takes my elbow and whispers, Don't be stupid, kid. She'll kill you with a snap if you mess up again. I don't know if he means with a snap of her fingers or some extra horrible snappy way to die. Either way, I don't want to die with a snap. Plutarch leads me to a spot closer to the stage. This'll do. Just stay here, and when Drusilla calls your name, you calmly walk up on stage, okay? I try to nod. My head throbs and my thoughts tumble around like rocks in a tin can. What just happened? What's happening now? Somewhere inside me, I know. I'm a tribute in the Hunger Games. In a few days, I'll die in the arena. I know all this, but it's like it's happening to someone else while I watch from a distance. The remaining members of the audience have regained their feet but not their composure. People whisper urgently to their neighbours, trying to figure out what's going on. Live in 30, someone says over the speakers. 29, 28, 27. Shut up, Drusilla yells at the crowd as the makeup person puffs some powder over her sweaty face. Shut up or we'll kill every last one of you. As if to emphasise this, a peacekeeper next to her fires a spray of bullets into the air, and a hovercraft passes right over the square. It gets quite fast, and I can hear my blood pounding in my ears. I have an impulse to flee, like Woodbine did, but remember the look of his brains hanging out of his skull. 10, 9, 8. Everyone on stage has returned to their pre-shooting places. Luella and Maisie, the peacekeepers, and Drusilla, who quickly tears the paper Plutarch gave her into two and positions the slips on the pile in the glass bowl. I reach for Burdock and Blair to steady myself, but of course they're not here. Just a couple of younger kids who are giving me plenty of room. 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Drusilla pretends to draw a name, and the first gentleman who gets to accompany the lady is Wyatt Callow. In some strange replay, I watch Wyatt, and as impassive as before, go by and obediently take his place on the stage. Drusilla's hand hovers over the ball, then removes the slip with surgical precision. And our second boy will be Hamish Abernathy. I just stand there in case this is the bad dream, and I'm about to wake up in my own bed. Everything's all wrong. Minutes ago, I dodged this bullet. I was headed home, then to the woods, safe for another year. Hamish? Drusilla repeats, looking straight at me. My face fills the screen over the stage. My feet begin to move. I see them cut to Lenore Dove, who has her hand pressed against her mouth. She isn't crying, so Plutarch won't get his tearful goodbye. Not from her, and not from me. They will not use our tears for their entertainment. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming the District 12 tributes of the 50th Hunger Games. Drusilla acknowledges us, and may the odds be ever in your favour. She begins to clap, and I hear a huge audience response over the speakers, although I can only see a handful of people applauding in 12. I locate Lenore Dove in the crowd, and we lock eyes, desperation setting in. For a moment, everything else pulls away, and there's only us. She lowers her hand and presses it to her heart, as her lips form the words silently. I love you like all fire. I mouth back, you too. Cannons break the spell. Confetti showers down on me, on the stage, on the whole square. I lose sight of her in the fluttering bits of bright paper. Drusilla spreads her arms wide. Happy second quarter quell, everybody. And we're out, says the voice on the speaker. The broadcast has moved on to the District 11 reaping. The canned applause cuts off and Drusilla lets out a groan, dramatically slumping against the podium. The Capital TV gives a loud cheer as Plutarch appears. Is it Plutarch or is it Plutarch? I think it might be Plutarch. Plutarch? I don't know. Brilliant. Bravo, everybody. Absolutely seamless, Drusilla. Drusilla recovers and yanks off her daffodil hat by the chin strap. I've no idea how I just did that. She pulls a pack of cigarettes from her boot and lights up, exhaling the smoke through her nose like a chimney. Well, it's a great story for dinner parties. One of the assistants appears with a tray of glasses filled with a pale liquid. He accidentally offers one to me. Champagne? Before he realises his mistake. Whoops, none for the children. Drusilla grabs a glass and notices the people of District 12 standing mute and miserable, while the last bits of confetti drift down on them. Well, what are they staring at? Filthy beasts. Go home, all of you. She addresses the peacekeeper. Get them out of here before their smell gets into my hair. She sniffs a lock of her hair and grimaces. It's too late. The peacekeeper gives a signal and the soldiers begin pushing the crowd back. While I see Bodok and Blair put up a struggle, most people rush to the side streets, only too happy to escape the ordeal of the reaping, to hurry home, embrace their children, and for those who patronise Hattie's stall, get good and drunk. I'm panicking by the sight of a District 12 peacekeeper restraining Lenore Dove. Why didn't I step in sooner? Why did I wait until I had no choice but to defy that soldier? Was I feeling afraid? Confused? Or just powerless in the face of those white uniforms? Now, we're both doomed. The peacekeeper's bringing out cuffs when Clerk Carmine and Tam Amber swoop in. They talk to him fast and low. I think some money changes hands. To my relief, that peacekeeper glances around and releases her, and walks off. Lenore Dove makes for me, but her uncles hustle her down a side street. The other luckless loved ones of this year's tributes remain behind. Mr. Donner runs up on stage with a fistful of cash, hoping to somehow bail Maisie out, while his wife and Merrily huddle near their storefront. Don't, Papa, Maisie cries, but her father keeps waving the money in people's faces. There's a family I judge to be the Callows, where a woman weeps hysterically, and the menfolk have come to blows. You jinxed him, one accuses another. This is on you. Our neighbours, the McCoys, have their arms wrapped around Ma, who's barely able to stand. Sid's hanging on her arm, pulling her forward as he hollers, Hey Mitch! Hey Mitch! I'm already so homesick I could die. I know I need to be strong, but the sight of them totals me. How will they manage without me? What's supposed to happen next is that the tributes go into the Justice Building for a final farewell to their family and friends. I've done this once before. My ma and pa took me when Sashi Whitcomb, the daughter of pa's old crew boss, got raped. She'd been orphaned that year when her pa, Lyle, died from the black lung. Ma told the peacekeepers we were kin, and they took us to a sitting room with a lot of scratchy furniture that needed dusting. I think we were her only visitors. I know I should wait for the official goodbye time, but the only thing that matters now is to hug Ma and Sid. With Mr. Donner amazingly making a ruckus, I get to the edge of the stage, crouch down, and reach for them when they run to me. None of that. I'm yanked backwards by a peacekeeper as Drusilla continues. No goodbyes for these people. They've lost that privilege after the outrageous display today. Take them straight to the train and let's get out of this sinkhole. A pair of peacekeepers tosses Mr. Donner off the stage. Mid-air, he loses his grip on the money, which floats down and mingles with the confetti on the ground. Then they pull out the handcuffs. Luella's been holding it together, but now she looks at me, her eyes wide with fright. I lay my hand on her shoulder to steady her, but as the cold metal touches her skin, she lets out a small squeak, like a baby animal in a trap, and the sound the family surge forward, desperate to reclaim us. The peacekeeper holds them back as Plutarch speaks up. I don't mean to be a pain, Drusilla, but I'm really low on reaction shots for the recap. Could I just snag a few? If you must, but if you're not on the train in 15, you can walk home, says Drusilla. I owe you. Plutarch does a quick assessment of our families and points to me and Luella. Leave me this and this. The peacekeepers steer Maisie and Wyatt into the Justice Building, beating back their relatives with batons, and they try to follow. Somehow Merrily slips by them, and for a moment the Donner twins become one. arms locked around each other's necks, foreheads and noses pressed together. A mirror image that the peacekeepers tear in two. I give Wyatt a final look to the hysterical callow woman before marching through the door. Luella and I rush for our folks, but Plutarch intervenes. Let's get that footage. The crew sweeps an area in front of the shops clear of confetti. The cameraman positions himself while Plutarch poses Luella's parents and her half-dozen brothers and sisters in front of the bakery. Wait, if you win the reaping, get out of the picture. Two of the kids move out of range of the camera. Good, he says. Very nice. Now what I need you to do is react exactly the way you did when I heard them call Luella's name. In 3, 2, 1, action. The McCoy family stares at him numbly. And cut. Plutarch crosses to the McCoys. Sorry, obviously I wasn't very clear. When you heard them call Luella, and it was a big shock, right? Oh no, maybe you gasped or cried or called out her name. Anyway, you did something. And now I need you to do the same thing for the camera, okay? He backs up. So in 3, 2, 1, action. If anything, the McCoys are more stony-faced than before. It's not confusion. It's blanket refusal to put on a show for the capital. Cut. Plutarch rubs his eye and sighs. Take the girl to the train. Peacekeepers whisk Luella into the Justice Building, and the McCoys finally crack, crying out her name in anguish. Plutarch motions to the crew to film their reaction. When the McCoys realise he got their distress on tape, they're infuriated, but the peacekeepers just muscle them off the square. Plutarch turns to Ma and Sid. Listen, I know this isn't easy, but I think we can help each other out. If I can get a usable reaction shot from you, I can give you a minute with Hamish. We clear? I see Sid's eyes flicker skyward, as there's a low rumble of thunder which feels like a warning. I look at my Ma's pale face, my brother's trembling lips. The words spill out of my mouth unbidden. Don't do it, Ma. But Ma overrules me and addresses Plutarch. No, I'll do it. We'll both do it, if you let us hold him one more time. Oh, I might cry. Deal. Plutarch positions them side by side, but Ma moves behind Sid and wraps her arms around him. Nice, I like it. Okay, so it's the middle of the reaping. Drusilla is picking the boys. She just said Hamish to Abernathy. And 3, 2, 1, action. Ma gasps, and Sid, confused, as no doubt he was the first time, cranes his head to look at her. Cut. That was terrific. Can we try one more time, and this time maybe make the gasp a little bit louder? 3, 2, 1, but it isn't once. Plutarch keeps calling for more dramatic responses. Call out his name. Hide your face in a dress. Can you break into tears? Until Sid's crying for real and my Ma looks ready to pass out. Stop it, I burst. That's enough. You've got enough. The walkie-talkie on his belt crackles. I hear Drusilla's impatient voice. Where are you, Plutarch? Just wrapping up. They're in 5. Plutarch waves Ma and Sid in my direction. They rush into March. You've got 2 minutes. I crush them against me for what I know is the last time. But times are wasted, and we are not a wasteful family. Take this. I empty the contents of my pockets into their hands. Money and peanuts into Ma's. Knife and white sack of gumdrops into Sid's. Bequeathing them the remains of my life in 12. Sid raises the gumdrops. For Lenore Dove? Yeah, you see she gets them, okay, I say. Sid's voice is hoarse with tears, but determined. She'll get them. Okay. I know she will, because I can always depend on you. I kneel in front of my little brother and hold out my sleeve like I did when he was tiny, so he can wipe his nose on it. You're the man of the house now. If you were some other kid, I'd be worried, but I know you can handle it. Sid starts to shake his head. You're twice as smart as me and 10 times more brave. You can do this, okay? Okay. He nods and I muss his hair, then I rise to hug my mother. Oh my God. You can too, Ma. I love you, son, she whispers. I love you too, I say. Through the static of Plutarch's walkie-talkie, I hear Drusilla's impatient voice. Plutarch, don't think I won't leave without you. Got to go, people, Plutarch says. Drusilla waits for no man. The peacekeepers move in to separate us, but Ma and Sid hold tight. Do you remember what your pa said to the Whitcomb child? Ma says urgently. It still goes. I flash back to the Justice Building, and the weeping girl and the sickly scent of decomposing flowers that pervaded the place. Pa is talking to Sashi. and he's telling her, "Don't let them use you, Sashi. Don't." "Plutarch," screeches Drusilla. "Plutarch Heavensby." Peacekeepers rip us apart. I'm lifted off my feet as Sid begs, "Please don't take my brother. Please don't take him. We need him." I can't help it. I should be a good example, but I struggle to get free. Oh my god, this is too much. "It's okay, Sid. It's going to be." A jolt of electricity racks my body and I go limp. I contract the heels of my boots, bouncing up the stairs, over the carpets of the Justice Building, through the gravel on the drive behind it. In the car, I let them cuff me without objecting. My brain's fuzzy, but I know I don't want to be zapped again. Wobbly-legged, I climb the metal steps to the train, where I'm tossed into some compartment with a single barred window. I press my face against the glass, but there's nothing to see but a grimy coal cart. For all Drusilla's whining, when we go nowhere for an hour, the sky blackens and the storm breaks. Hail clatters against my window, followed by sheets of rain. By the time the wheels of the train begin to turn, my head is cleared. I tried to memorize every fleeting image of 12. The lightning illuminating the dingy warehouses, the water streaming down the slag heaps, and the glow of the green hills. That's when I see Lenore Dove. She's up on the ridge, her red dress plastered to her body, one hand clutching the bag of gumdrops. As the train passes, she tilts her head back and wails her loss and rage into the wind. And even though it guts me, even though I smash my fists against the glass until they bruise, I'm grateful for her final gift, that she's denied Plutarch the chance to broadcast our farewell. The moment our hearts shattered, it belongs to us.